so glad that you guys are here. Wow! Kitty is also really excited for Vlogmas, aren't you? She's like, no, let me down. I'm out of here. How did you print it though? And how do you know it'll work?
It's always a question of whether or not your circuit works.
But then you have to put like resistors or capacitors on it?
Yeah, right here. See if it fits. Get a feeling you're taking more than just a picture. Pulls a little bit, but
So it's a 1 resistor circuit board?
we'll get some of these too. These. These.
Wait, how did you know to do that?
What?
Make a little circuit board like that and just stick it in the
Oh.
pin things.
A lot of just fooling around with them.
Is that what you do at work?
No. Everyone's gonna be like, what is this black magic? We'll bring it in. I'm gonna bring 20 of these in tomorrow.
Wait, what do you do with it?
So it's for some flow meters that are mounted next to some motors. And they're picking up a lot of inductive noise. So a little resistor gets rid of all the noise.
Oh.
It's
You-
not random. There it is.
You don't just like buy a part? Or just like put it on the computer and delete out the noise?
There's so much noise that the entire module shuts down.
Oh.
It's not just a bad signal, it just turns off.
Huh. Hey guys, happy Vlogmas! So today I am working from home and running a couple of meetings. Hold on, my cat is I had an interview for an article that they're going to do that I can't really tell you guys about yet. And I've headed out to the gym. I hosted 2 meetings, one of which was for our regional technology leads, and one of them is for my team at the reservoir. They're doing startup and commissioning activities, so we do a weekly meeting just to make sure everybody's on board and knows what they're doing, and personnel staffing and resource staffing, and any sort of problems that come up we can talk through. We can talk about schedule and progress and things like that. So I ran 2 meetings, I did an interview, and I've been working on some real work, when I call real work, like I talked about in a different video. So I wanted to talk this week. So I wanted to talk today about the people that you should have in your life, and this is useful across any career field, but especially for those of you in STEM, and I'll talk a little bit to that as I go through each one. So the first person is a believer. You have to have a believer in your life. This is somebody who, no matter what you do, is just like, yes, you can do it. You sign up for, 22 hours worth of classes, and they're like, yes, of course you can do it. So for me, this is somebody like my mom, who is just going to believe in me and support me no matter what. I might not necessarily know any of the technical stuff or know what the classes are that I've signed up for, but knows without a doubt that I can do it if I put in the effort. So the next person is your coach. There's somebody who gives you productive feedback. So this could be your supervisor, it could be somebody who's a mentor to you, Somebody who you work with in a close enough setting that you can ask them for advice or ask them how something went, and they're able to give you solid, concrete things to work on, but also be able to tell you what you did really well. So that's your coach. You should have somebody who they sometimes call a triumphant contemporary, which is somebody who is doing really cool stuff that you admire, that you inspire to be like, and that you think is just an overall badass. That's your triumphant contemporary. Next up is an anchor, somebody who keeps you down to earth, is somebody you go to who probably shares your own values on things. And so for me, it's somebody I work with that I am a lot, that I can ask them for help on things, but also just to like tell it to me straight. Like when I sent out that email to the team, should I not have worded it like this? And they and I know that they support me and that they have those same views on what's happening within the company and the sort of projects we're going after and what's happening within the projects and how well they're doing. So that's my anchor. A strategist, somebody who you can talk to about where do you go next. So it could be a coworker or it could be a friend, somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and who has just as much ambition and drive as you have. And so you can talk about, okay, where are the gaps? What opportunities should I take? Which one should I pass up on? How do I get to that next spot of where I want to be in my career? So that's your strategist. Next one is your mentor. So this is your wise sage, your person that you look up to, who can to mentor you and give you what you don't have in experience, can fill that gap for you. And this doesn't have to be an older person or somebody more senior. It can be a peer mentor. And in STEM fields, it can even be somebody younger than you, somebody who is more adept at a certain type of technology or a certain way of doing things. And then we get into what you call reverse mentoring, which is you're mentoring somebody older than you on how to use technology or something that you do really well, and they're mentoring you on how to fit in well within the work atmosphere and that sort of environment that you might not be as used to as they are. So that is your mentor. And then the next one is one that gets a lot of talk time, at least in the circles that I run in, and that's your sponsor. So your sponsor is not necessarily your mentor and somebody who you work closely with, but somebody that will use their political capital and their place within the company to sponsor you. They're putting themselves on the line and saying, hey, I trust that this person does a really great job. You should take a risk on this person. And so for me, I've got like my mentors that I work with, and then their bosses and their mentors. They are probably the people who I'd consider more my sponsors. So people that are networked in at a higher level, they're more regional, and they can say, hey, I worked with her before, she does a great job. You should think about her for this next role, or think about, if I post something on my blog, they share it around to the people they know and they promote it within their networks. To me, that's a sponsorship gig. So that's them saying good things and talking me up, and not necessarily to me, but to others. And the same person can fill your mentorship and your sponsorship role. So they could be somebody you work with, but also has an ear in for people who sit above them on the org chart or sit in different positions in different regions. And they can talk about you in those other circles where you're not there. So that's my advice for today, is the people that you need in your life. How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 7 people that you need in your professional life. And I would argue in your social life, just to stay grounded. Sometimes work can be stressful, or you can be on a project that's takes a lot out of you, either intellectually or socially, or within your relationships, your work relationships. And so it's nice to have these people that believe in you and inspire you and encourage you and I guess overall empower you. And so that's my advice today, is to find those 7 people that empower you and to continue to cultivate those relationships and to talk to those people and provide support to them and a constant feedback of them supporting you and you supporting them, and you guys will both get something out of the relationship that way. So that's my advice for today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.